Was it that punk place?
It wasn't a punk place.
Mingles and Close Encounters and all those things up, all of those ones up the road. I mean, there were so many places.
It's kind of a long place. The stage was at one end, kind of had a bar like this.
Bonnie's Rocks, the Tower, all of that stuff. The Galaxy, yeah, right.
Yeah. I'm drawing a blank. I'm usually good at this.
I can't remember the name of it. Maybe it'll come to me.
And we went by today the Pony and the Fast Lane and the Rocking Horse at the one point, and then there was the Birch Hill, of course. You had Union Jack, which was up South River. What are other ones?
City Gardens.
Yeah, there was places in Jackson. There was you had the show place.
But that's one of the places that I remember starting, where the first time we got a gig there was like on a Wednesday night, and we played to 16 people, and 8 of them were your friends. But then we came back another night, and then there was 47 people, and then we came back, and then we came back, and then you were on a Friday night, and there was 115 people, and then we came back, and then we had a Saturday night with whatever, and it's like, wow, now the place is kind of full, and that was one of the first places.
Union Jacks.
Yes, Union Jack.
Union Jack.
Gosh, there were so many different ones. There were so many places to play. You could play virtually in a different town every night of the week without any issues if you put it together to do it. I mean, it was a great time for whether it was a cover band or whether it was original acts. You had people wanting to see live music. None of this DJ bullshit or any of that other stuff. You could go out, pay a few bucks cover charge, and go in, and we did. You know what I mean? To me, that was some of the best times of my life.
We actually, back in the day when you used to do stuff like that, you would build a following. People, you get word of mouth where, did you check out this band? It was a fun night. It was this, it was that. And you get a little bit more each time. We'd look out sometimes and be like, oh, wow. People came to our gig. How about that? And, I guess the flyers we put all over the cars in the parking lot up the Brendan Byrne Arena worked because people are coming down to the show.
And you'd have to wear out your Chuck Taylors. That was how your advertising. It was like cars, flyers under the windshield wipers, on telephone poles, handed 100 to a friend to do the same thing. That was kind of our social media back then, I guess.
When we were growing up, it was like, we would be in competition of each other, like his band would be playing at the Birch Hill, and like he'd be hanging up flyers, we'd be hanging up flyers, and next week we'd be going playing Studio One, we'd be playing L'Amour's, we'd be playing, Huntington Station, whatever, we'd be playing all over the place. Now there's like, I don't even know, it's like, but that was what he was just talking about. It's like, this is how you build this. And not even the fans would be like, hey, listen, this band's going to play today. Let's go hang out. I don't really like them. These people are playing. It was something to kind of do and everything. It's gone.
It was cool. It was cool too, though, because you could play a weekend at the Birch Hill and then the next weekend play Club Benet, and still everybody would show up. I mean, it was not like we played one show there and we're going to play Saturday at here and nobody's going to show. They jumped. If people liked what your band was, at the time, they followed where you went.
Where else did we play? I'm trying to think of some of the other venues.
Well, we wanted to get to L'Amour. That was the big thing.
Right.
That was where we went. I remember, my wife always says I exaggerate, so this is probably an exaggerated story, but we used to drop off press kits because there was L'Amour in Brooklyn, there was L'Amour East in Queens, and we all had these press kits, and they had a demo in it, and they had an 8x10. I mean, we tried to do it as professional as we could right from the beginning. It had stickers in it, so it was you'd get something. And these two guys who ran the L'Amours eventually managed us, the Parente brothers, and I had a press kit, and I walked up to one of them in L'Amour East, and I said, Mr. Parente, I'm Bobby from Overkill. I'd like to have our press kit, so maybe we could get a gig here. He turned around and looked at me and said, listen, kid, you're a nice kid, but your band sucks. I got 40 of your fucking press kits in my office.
We were relentless with George.
Yeah.
We just stayed on him and stayed on him.
The attitude of the East Coast is just like, fuck you, we don't fucking care. We don't care if you like our band, we're just gonna fucking play anyways. We don't care if you like this, we don't care if you don't care about this. We don't care. We're just gonna fucking do it, and we're gonna continue to do it until someone likes us. And I think it's just the tenacity of this coast that all these bands had and have. Anthrax, same thing.
You could spend a full month starting in South Jersey, running club to club to club, going all the way up to New York. Like you said, through through Lemore's and just any of the clubs really, and just run back and forth. By the time you got back up, you could restart again. So you always had gigs if you wanted them.
Johnny came before us doing a nationwide tour. Johnny signed us in '84. I still have the picture in my office at home. I'm standing there leaning over, signing it with I think I have a 24-ounce Budweiser in the bag.
We all have beer.
Yeah, we have. They're all like but they're in these they're in this brown paper bag.
Right.
Mine is, because you could walk on the street back then in New York drinking it as long as it was in the bag. So we were celebrating with buds and signing, and I think the story goes is that Marcia really liked us. Johnny's wife really liked us, and we started selling stuff out of his store. We actually did an Overkill EP called Overkill, and he just kept reordering them because we had built a following up, and it was something that he couldn't not notice, that it was actually moving product right out of his store. He actually had a number of how much they sold in this area, and once he signed us, we were off to do Field of Fire months later, and following that, then it was a European tour. It was Anthrax, Overkill, a band out of California called Agent Steel, on a thing called the Metal Hammer Roadshow in 1986 in the spring, and then it just kept rolling from there. We'd gotten the name. The guys from Lemore's now approached us and said, "Hey, we're your manager." We said, "Great." We now had a team. We had Megaforce Records and we had Loud and Proud Management.
And we hounded the shit out of Johnny Z. Lemore's and Megaforce, I gotta say, we hounded the shit out of both of them. Because they were in if you were a band. If you get on Megaforce, Megaforce and Metallica, my God, if you get on Megaforce and play in Lemore's, and we were right there at that thing with both those guys, and that's just kind of the way we got going.
I still have an unpaid bar tab at Lemore's. I'm very proud of that.